If I was to slice leadership down to, you've got to have a basic level of physical strength. So to me, what that means is you should be able to handle higher levels of stress, because it can be that your spouse will be talking to you about business, your children will be talking to you about business, your parents will talk to you about business. So the stress level is actually higher than normal. The second thing is your intelligence in terms of just your mental capacity, because not just are you dealing with business problems at home, but many times you're dealing with home problems in the office. So there's a lot of, unlike a black and white scenario where when you're at work you can do work and when you're at home you do personal things, I think in family businesses it's actually quite gray, where you tend to mix. And in the day while you're at the office you may end up doing personal things, and at home you may end up doing business stuff. So it's a bit of a gray area, and that requires a more of a multitasking style level of intelligence compared to just the normal professional business. The last thing I would say is just your emotional, which I touched on, is the emotional maturity level. You need to be able to handle demands from family members, you need to be able to handle requests, you need to be able to handle expectations, and these are people who you can't fire. This is the way you could fire an employee. These are not people that you've just hired professionally at an arm's length. You've been born into this family, so you can't really choose who these family members are. And these are people who will spend your most precious moments with you, birthdays, anniversaries, deaths. So you actually share a lot of things with these people that are not work related. So it requires a much higher level of emotional intelligence to be able to sort of think business when it's required and then think personal when it's required. And it's the same person in front of you. The issue comes when some family members may not be as passionate, and then we've got to deal with that situation because a lot of family members have expectations. They have a feeling of an entitlement that they will be rewarded, they will be compensated, they will have a share of the family business, even though they may not be the best. So that's linking back to the emotional maturity that I mentioned, that you've got to handle that situation outside of the business, because as far as the business is concerned, it's the best person who needs to lead. The challenge is is for the family to let go, right? So then that will attract the best professionals.